Hey, welcome. It is Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Time. I'm letting you in to the studio here at Junk Removal Authority where we are bringing you, as we do every Tuesday and Thursday, Making Hay with JRA. Hopefully you guys are out there working and staying busy. Hopefully you guys aren't out in already visualizing yourself at the beach or doing what you got going on this Memorial Day weekend. Hey, everybody posting comments. What are you doing this Memorial Day? Are you guys working all the way through? You got vacations planned? What you got going on? Hey, let us know in the comments section. We got my man Aaron running the show. He will be letting me know of any questions you guys pose throughout today's episode. Any questions or comments that he deems relevant to get over to me, we're going to address throughout today. So please get us some great questions throughout here. Anything you want to talk about, we're open book right now. We're not extremely focused in on any specific topic today, so let us know what kind of questions you have as you're moving forward. And again, let us know your Memorial Day plans. Hope everybody's got a great weekend plan. We got some wonderful weather here in North Carolina going on. I'm going to be heading down to the beach and enjoying that for a few days. So that'll be nice. People in Oklahoma, I know like Missouri, stuff like that, you guys just have some pretty major weather come through, so hopefully you guys are doing all right. That was probably going to keep you busy, but hopefully you didn't have any issues with your home, loved ones, family members, so on and so forth. So before we roll into today's topic, or actually as part of today's topic, one of the best things we do here at JRA is our SEO and Google pay-per-click management. I'm going to say, without a doubt, nobody's doing that PPC better than we are. We charge $750 a month for that pay-per-click management. We will more than make up for that management fee with reduced wasted ad spend, as well as making sure you're showing the best possible position based on your budget in order to maximize the amount of income you come in. So you're gonna have less wasted expense and you're gonna have more income. We're gonna make up that management fee, that $750 a month management fee. So part of today's topic is we got that Memorial Day coming up. Memorial Day holidays are some of the largest the days before and after a holiday. You're going to waste more money if you're doing a Google Ads campaign than any other time. I don't care if somebody else is managing it or if you're managing it. Unless JRA's managing it for the most part, because we got our crap figured out on this Google Ads PPC, you guys are going to be wasting money. I'm going to give you a couple tips. The reason you waste money is people are actually searching, what is my trash schedule? What's my Memorial Day trash pickup schedule? That's the type of stuff they're searching for. So you need to add the keyword schedule and the keyword Memorial Day to your negative keywords. Get those two keywords in there. Do it immediately. Do it right now. Otherwise, you guys might waste some money come Monday when everybody whose trash normally gets picked up on Monday figures out they didn't come get my can. When are they coming to pick my stuff up? So you want to make sure schedule and Memorial Day is listed as negative keywords to protect you there. That right there, hey, just by watching this episode of Making Hay with JRA, we probably just saved you a good amount of money depending on what your budget is. It wasn't uncommon for us to spend, before we figured some of that type of stuff out years ago, we might spend $500 after a holiday in wasted ad spend on those related keywords. So some good news on our end. Let us know if you got any good news on your end. We just got our new truck in finally. It was due March 29th originally, and almost 2 months later, we finally take delivery of it. 2019 Isuzu NRR. If you guys saw the video I just posted, you'd be able to check it out. Great truck, powder-coated body, about a $65,000 vehicle. It's going to make us a hell of a lot more. So excited about that. Today, we're running it by the Truck Graphics place. We're actually going to kind of upgrade our graphics. Here's what I will tell you on Truck Graphics. Let's pull up Junk Smiths. Let's see if they got an example here. Junk Smiths, Junk Loaders does a great job of this too, but Junk Smiths, on their Truck Graphics, they have their name extremely large. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. You can check it out, junksmiths.com. Their name and phone number is massive. So they don't put a bunch of BS in there like a lot of people do. So we're going to make our Junk Doctors logo huge. We're going to make the phone number huge. We're going to have the website. That's all that needs to be on Truck Graphics, guys. Don't overcomplicate this stuff. Don't get something crazy. The more stuff you add, the more confusing you make it to your customer. What does your customer need to know? They need to know your company name, your phone number, and your website. Get them those three pieces of information and maybe what you do. So in this case, it says Junk Smiths, a junk removal company. It's probably pretty obvious in the name, but just in case anybody is a bit confused, it adds in a junk removal company. That's all you need on Truck Graphics. This is not a switch and go truck that we got. We don't do switch and go vehicles. If you guys are familiar with the switch and go system, it is a system that allows you to have multiple truck bodies. You can have a roll-off container. You can have a flatbed. You can have a storage container. You can have a mobile office. You got a million. There's, I don't know, 7 or 8 different types of bodies you can use on the switch and go system. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. We had a switch and go. It's the only truck we ever sold because the system isn't extremely robust. The winch on it was we were always having to replace a cable, or somebody would mess up and get the winch cable. Wow, it wouldn't wind up straight. You got to remember who you're hiring here, folks. You can train them all you want, but sometimes they're just going to make a mistake. And that system right there, you'd lock a winch cable in. You'd have to free it up. You'd have to change out that cable, and it adds height. It also, that switch and go system is going to add a good probably 8 inches of height. And that's 8 inches you have to overcome when you're loading stuff up into the truck. Now, obviously, you can drop a bed, but you're not going to have to drop a bed at every customer's home. So, if you're going to go with the truck body or a roll-off or a dumpster type system, I love the hook lifts. The hook lifts are kind of the way to go. We don't go with the switch and goes on our new trucks. We got any questions, Aaron?
We don't.
All right, so that's our new truck. Hope you guys got new trucks ordered, because if you don't, if you're out there, you're being aggressive on advertising and you're getting your name out there, you've been in business a little bit of time, you're doing great work for people, you're getting referrals, you're pounding the pavement, doing old school sales. If you guys are doing all that stuff and you haven't ordered a new truck yet, you don't have something coming, you're going to get busy and you're not going to be able to keep up with your business. We've actually got two customers right now contacted us and told us, turn off Google Ads for now. We're too busy. We can't get up. We can't keep up. And almost 3. We got a third guy who's going to get him back on, but he's operating on a way reduced budget. He's only showing about 30% of the time because he can't keep up. He's too daggone busy. So they turn off ads, and that gets it controllable, because that slows down the pipeline of consistent work coming in. That gets them where they can catch up. It gets them where they're stressed out trying to keep up right now. That controls that. But the problem is you've missed out potentially on a little bit of a busy period, and potentially you've moved into a slower period. So all of a sudden you get stressed out because you don't have any work at all. You got to take, in this business and in most business, you got to take it when it's hot. It's feast or famine. So you got to feast when the food is plentiful. And that way you can avoid the famine when it gets slow. And it's going to happen even throughout busy season. You're going to have slow weeks. You guys got to be able to keep that pipeline open. Your advertising, all your advertising you're doing, you got to be able to run it year round. And you got to be able to, that means when you're slow, you still got to be able to pay that bill. And the only way you can pay that bill when you're slow, consistent advertising, pay that bill when you're slow, is because you put a little bit of money away when you were busy. So that means you got excess in when you're busy. If you guys are turning off advertising because you're too busy, you're making a grave mistake. It's something that myself, with us here at Junk Doctors, we've taken advantage of. We got competitors been in business just as long as we have. We're going on 7 to 8 years, something like that. We have another competitor that started the exact same time we did, just got their second truck. It's a box truck. They have one dump truck, one box truck that they just ordered. And then with us, we're 12 dump trucks. We just had one wreck. We're going to be at 12 dump trucks once the newer ones come in. We're probably going to order another one to go to 13. Then we got two F-250s and a dump trailer as well. So we got 15, 16 vehicles there at 2. And a lot of that is because we kept on the gas, full throttle, even when we were extremely busy. We just found a way to make it work, and you need to be able to find a way to do the exact same thing. Big danger if you guys are turning away work because you're too busy. So, redundancy in business. This goes along with keeping up when you get extremely busy. Right now, going into June oftentimes is the busiest month of the year. We've seen June be the busiest month of the year. We've seen August be the busiest month of the year. We've seen October be the busiest month of the year. And our revenues are up 30% from last year. So we're 30% up with Junk Doctors last year. That means we're going to be absolutely gangbusters come June. If you've been doing what you need to do, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. So you have to have some redundancy. Now, what is redundancy? Redundancy is number in business is 1. You want to be number one in your market, but you want to avoid number one on everything else. That means you don't want just one employee. You don't want just one truck you're relying on. Or maybe it's not just one. You want more. You want at least backup options in place if something goes down. Let me give you an example. We are expanding our call center. So people, the Google Ads, majority of our customers are happy. They like Google Ads. They like the results. We've lost a few. There's a few markets that don't do as well with Google Ads. There's a few people that weren't ready to spend the amount of money they need to on Google Ads that aren't with us. Call center, people dig in that call center, man. They ain't having to worry about answering that phone anymore, and we're doing a better job at booking jobs for them. So what we've had to do is we've had to put redundancy in place in our call center. So we've had AT&T internet in here for a while. So we get Spectrum internet as a backup. We get a Verizon, whatever that little thing is, as a secondary backup. And our phones are voice over IP. So we have some of our phones that are now hooked up on AT&T. Some of our phones are now hooked up on Spectrum. We've got a computer that runs off a different internet as well. And then we've got some cell phone backups too. If everything hits the fan, we've got stuff where they're actually able to freeze. But for the most part, we're covered. If we lose internet, the two internet providers, they share none of the same infrastructure. So we've got redundancy in place where that call center, the phones are going to ring. If Spectrum goes down, AT&T is going to pick up the slack. If AT&T goes down, Spectrum's going to pick up the slack. So we're covered in the case of a bad event. And then we've got battery backups in place. It prevents any of that stuff going down if we lose power to this building. You have to have redundancy in place in business. If you don't, you're going to be unable to keep up with that real busy time that comes in, or you're going to have somebody let you down, you have a piece of equipment that lets you down, and you're stuck. So you guys think about in your business, what are the things right now that you're only relying on one of, or you don't have enough of? It could be employees. It's probably either employees or trucks. And let me tell you something, if you're relying on yourself to be on that truck every single day, if you're relying on yourself to check in your guys every single day, you do not have redundancy. If you give up, or if you give out, if you get hurt, if you get sick, if somebody you know gets sick, if somebody you know dies, if you have some major event in your life that takes place, your business is gonna be hammered because you can't be there. Your business you are your business in that case. So you gotta have redundancy for yourself too. Who is a supervisor? Who's a GM? Who's somebody that can more or less replace? Which it will at some point, sooner or later, something's gonna happen to you. When that happens, your business is not going to be ready. So you're going to be sick. Hopefully you're not dead. If you're dead, you maybe don't care. But you're going to be sick, or you're going to have to skip somebody's funeral. You're going to go to somebody's funeral or whatever, and you're going to miss out on income when that happens. You're going to have customers that are angry potentially. And yes, some customers with us, we got to get extra trucks. That's what we're doing right now. We're adding trucks just as quickly as we can. As quickly as we can get them, we're adding them. The holdup right now is getting them built. I'm addressing that situation. We're going to have a major announcement coming up pretty soon on that. But we're addressing the turnaround times with these junk removal trucks. We got people now. We've figured out how to hire people finally. It took us years and years and years. We figured out we got to be the aggressor in order to hire people. As soon as we get a resume in on Indeed, I got Melissa in the call center. She's picking that phone up and she's calling them. She's interviewing right then and there. Giving them an interview 10 seconds, a minute after they put in their resume before they can apply anywhere else. Junk Doctors is on the phone. We're interviewing them over the phone. We're getting references from them over the phone. We're asking about their background check's going to check out. We're starting that background check right there after that phone conversation. That background check's getting started, and we're giving them a job offer over the phone within minutes of when they applied. It's a tentative job offer. We tell them, all right, as of now, if they sound good, as of now, we're extending out a job offer to you. We think you'd be a good fit. Here's what we'd like, though. We need these references, and we're going to call them. They need to check out. We need a previous employer, if at all possible. We need an in-person interview. We want to come in and we want to meet you in person. We were going to see if you're in person, you check out as good as you do over the phone. And the third thing is that background check has to check out, and then the drug test. So if those things check out, you got a job. And that right there has worked like a dream. We went from struggling to hire people to we can hire people at will now. We're staffed up finally. I don't remember the last time Junk Doctors was staffed up. It's probably back when I was on the truck 7 years ago. So that's a great position to be in. So we're fixing the truck deal where we have redundancy. You need to figure out in your business where you need to add redundancy. Now what that means is oftentimes you got to raise prices because you got to have that excess. You got to have that excess cushion where you can that excess amount of money where you can put it towards this redundancy to provide you with a cushion in your business. If your prices aren't up, if you aren't profitable in your jobs, you're not going to be able to build that. You need to make that a priority, whatever it is. Figure out your number one priority. If it's people, if it's trucks, and address that right now. Begin thinking about it and begin putting it in action as soon as this episode's over. Any examples of redundancy, guys? What do you guys need? Let us know in comments. If you guys have any questions on anything we can help you out. We got any questions or anything at all right now, Aaron?
We got a few comments. Juan from Cali said he just bought 2 2014 Isuzu dump trucks. He said 90K, awesome. And he says, thanks, carbs in California.
Yeah.
So we got that one, and then Wally Gon's currently looking at a C5500 with a switch and go. He said the used hook lift for the light duty trucks I kept seeing really didn't have a lift capacity greater than 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, I mean there's different levels on lift capacity, but I'd look for the hook lifts, man. If you can find one at all. Listen, all right. Here's the deal with switch and go. If you yourself are going to be on the truck operating it, switch and go is probably okay. The switch and go system, if it has a talented operator or an operator that's paying attention and doing what they're supposed to do, is a decent enough system. The problem comes in when you get employees and then they aren't quite paying as close attention as they need to. That hook lift, if you can back up and you get that hook hooked up to it, it's going to pull that sucker up on that truck. And you're not going to have the issues that you might have with the switch and go. So if you're going to build a truck, that's not a big deal. Hey, Memorial Day plans, guys. What you guys got? I want to know what everybody's doing. I hope you're getting out. You're doing something. Unless you guys are working all the way through it, which most dumps are closed, so majority of us have to close down over Memorial Day. I hope you're getting out. I hope you're maybe thinking about your business, big picture stuff and all. I've always found that a little bit of vacation does you good. You got that Gary Vaynerchuk or whatever talks about. He took the first 12 years he worked or something like that. He never took a vacation. I call BS on that personally. It's great to recharge some. It's great to get out, and a lot of times it forces you to think big picture. If you're like me, I kind of always think about work. I enjoy thinking about it. But when you're involved, where the action takes place all the time, you get stuck in your business and not working on your business. Take a little bit of time to kind of think about what's the next step. Where am I at now? Where do I need to create redundancy? What challenges are facing me right now? How am I going to overcome them? Where do I want to be a year from now? Where do I want to be 5 years from now? And figure out all that stuff, and then when you get back in town or you get back from that vacation, get to working on it. So, one of the pieces of advice that took me a long time to really fully understand is so far as like I understand exactly what I was doing. I might have been doing it some in the years past, but I didn't really understand it all that well, and it took me hearing a few other people say it. It took me a lot of experience to really understand it. But when you're wanting to grow your business, we're talking about growing this thing, guys. A lot of times you got to spend the money and you just got to figure it out. You got to take out the loan and you got to figure out how you're gonna make it work. If you feel pretty confident that you can make it work, then you're not gonna know the details necessarily. And the details could change. You might think you have it all figured out, and all of a sudden you get into doing whatever it is, and it doesn't work out that way, and you got to pivot. You got to change. So JRA, Aaron will tell you right now, we got pivot. When we first started, we were like a damn snake. Sometimes we were turning around. We know where we were going with JRA, and now it's kind of gentle pivots. For a while, we've been on a pretty common trajectory. We kind of leveled off, and it's pretty common. Now we got a little pivot going in. We figured something out. We got a little pivot going on. And that's what you're constantly going to have to be doing, but it just requires spending the great money in college doing these private lessons. She was a full-time athlete, full-time student. She gave these lessons, and she was making a lot more. She was making more money at that point doing private lessons than people 5-6 years out of college. A lot of people 5-6 years out of college were making. And it's just grown ever since she got out of college. That's just grown. She's been out of college 4 or 5 years now, and she's finally, I've been trying to get her to do this for a long time, but she's finally ready to take a little bit of a risk and start her own place. So we are in negotiations right now on renting a volleyball or a facility, a kind of a warehouse facility. We're going to set up a volleyball court, basketball courts. I think we're going to put in some batting cages for baseball. And it's just going to be a training, kind of an overall training facility, just kind of helping athletes in this area improve their skills. It's going to require a decent payment on it. I think Junk Doctors is actually, I think we're going to move Junk Doctors into a part of that building too. It's a 27,000 square foot building. So part of it's going to be the athletic stuff, and I think we're going to move our junk removal operation in there as well. All the details are not figured out on that. We have a good idea. I mean, we know how she can make money on private lessons, but we're going to need we've got to find a personal trainer. We got an idea. We got to find some personal trainers to get in there and do gym space. We're going to set up some gym space in there. Baseball instructors, we're already talking to people. We're going to have some people that are going to give lessons in baseball, maybe put on clinics. The basketball stuff, we got an AAU team that might practice there. So that kind of stuff, and if you notice, a lot of it's might. We're just confident. We set it up, we build it, the people are going to come because we're going to figure out a way to make them come. Oftentimes, that's how it is in business. Business requires faith, guys. If you guys are agnostic or atheist or whatever when you're religion, you better have faith in your business, because if you do not have, and if you're Christian and you or Muslim or whatever religion you are, Jewish, whatever religion you are, you better have another faith, which is that you're going to figure out how to make your business work. If you believe God's going to look after you, great, but you yourself have to 100% believe that what you're doing is going to work out, because if you don't have that belief, you're going to be holding yourself back. You're never going to fully achieve your maximum potential until you have faith. Business requires a few things, one of which is faith, one of which is money and investment, one of which is time. Those are three things right there you got to have. You got to invest your time and your money. You got to let time pass. This is not immediate. It's not going to happen the first month, the first quarter, first 6 months, first year. This is years. This is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You got to be hitting it hard every single day. Smart, but hitting it hard every single day. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have faith. And you're going to have to take some chances. You're going to have to take out loans, guys. If you want to achieve maximum potential, you're going to have to take out loans. Now, you can bootstrap it. You can bootstrap it and get a decent business going on. If y'all want to build up something large, you're going to have to go to the bank. You're going to make the bank your friend. You're going to have to find some friends that are willing to loan you money. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to get a credit card and run a balance up on it. You got to be smart about this, guys. Don't get stupid. Don't get stuff you don't need, but you're going to have faith if you're really going to make this work and really get large. We got any last minute questions before we wrap up today? What we got?
We do. First thing is kind of a happy celebration thing. So Walligan is actually looking for his first truck right now.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's great. Get us some pictures of it when you get that truck. Sent. I don't think they can post pictures on YouTube, but email Lee at junkra.com pictures of that truck. We're going to show you off up here once you get that thing. That's awesome. And
then we got two questions from Juan and Callie.
Okay.
And the first one's, what's your opinion on 1-800 numbers?
Yeah, I mean, it's 1990s. 1-800 numbers now are almost a negative because people like buying local. So one of the things you got going on is you're locally owned. You need to ride that as hard as you possibly can. Get you a local area code number. Let me show you something. On Junk Doctors, what we do, we're in 3 locations. Aaron, we got to change this out. I don't like this.
Okay.
We've talked about this before, this call now button. I like it on mobile, but on desktop, it just needs to list Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro with the individual phone numbers. I thought we'd gotten it fixed. But anyway, what happens is you can click this call now, and if you notice, we have a 919 area code that's local to Raleigh, 704 is local to Charlotte, and 336 is local to Greensboro. Now, I would not suggest setting it up like we have on this particular page. Junk Doctors is the only company we work with right now that has multiple locations. So if you guys use our website services, you're not going to have this. And this works well on mobile. So let's see if this works. Hey, you guys notice in the background, got Workies right here. Aaron, get that link for Workies. Workies is the absolute ultimate system. Now, they're still improving, but the ultimate scheduling, invoicing system out there. You got GPS tracking. You got routing, you got online booking, extremely fast online booking, multiple truck operations, multiple locations. You can do franchising through Workies. It's got a call function. Calls can actually get recorded. Pictures can be submitted onto work orders, before and after pictures, or if you have any issues. If you do an estimate, we'll take pictures. You got that. On this page right here, on mobile, this works out pretty well because it's click to call. But what I guess the main thing I was showing is we have multiple area codes. No need to do the 1-800 number unless you're a big franchise.
And then the other question was, how does the call center deal with spam and personal phone calls?
So hey, you have to set up a business number for the call center. So, for example, we don't allow you just to forward your cell phone. You need to actually, if you've been operating using your cell phone, you can port your number over to a voice over IP provider or like Grasshopper. I'm not a huge fan of Grasshopper because there's a delay on the call, but like Vonage is who we use. We can help you. We can assist you with getting that set up. You can port your cell phone number over into Vonage. That does mean you'll need to get a new cell number and kind of let all of your friends know. We understand we're going to get some personal calls if you're actually porting your number over. If you're a new business, you're going to have a number separate from your personal cell phone. That's going to be what comes to us. As far as spam calls, we get, I don't know, Junk Doctors probably gets 20 spam calls a day. So we're used to spam calls. You know, they come through, and if we consistently realize they're spam, we got a way of blocking the number. And then they change the number. I do hear that the FCC might be putting in some might be forcing telephone providers to actually ban numbers that have consistently proven to be spam, so that'll help us out. We've got ways of dealing with it, though. Any other questions? Guys, we really appreciate you coming and joining us for a half hour or so every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon. Glad everybody's watching. And if you haven't ever bought a service from us, we're glad you watch. Please let us know what kind of stuff we've helped you improve. Guys, really take Memorial Day, take this weekend, unless you're working, take this weekend to really think about your business. Big picture, big picture. Don't worry about the short-term stressful situations. Think about what your life's going to be like, what your business is going to be like a year and 5 years from now, and then start filling in those gaps on how you're going to achieve that. Kind of give you what Brian Scudamore, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, called it the painted picture. It's basically, he just imagined his life 5 years, I think it was 5 years in the future when he first did. I think it was 2015. No, it wasn't 2015. I think it was 2005, and he imagined what his life was going to be like in 2010. And I think like 90% of what he put down on that paper, he actually accomplished by 2010. So come up with your painted picture. And if you aren't embarrassed, shouldn't be embarrassed, but if you'd like to share that with us on Tuesday, that'd be awesome. You know, what's your business look like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, whatever. And give us questions if you need questions on how to fill that in, on how to you start out with a sketch and how you're going to color in all the lines. We'd love to help you out with that. And you can do that every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon. Guys, do remember we talked about this JRA call center. If you guys want to use this call center, we are ready for expansion into moving as well. We're going into moving with the call center. So if you guys are tired of always having to answer this phone, or you have calls that are missing, we've got a solution for you. So make sure you check it out. All we do is junk removal appointments and moving appointments. We know the industry. We book thousands of jobs, so make sure you check it out. Any last questions before we close? Thanks again for watching, guys. This has been another episode of Making Hay with JRA. I am, of course, your host, Lee Godbold, and we will be back with you on Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern.